The fluorescent lights of the co-working space buzzed overhead as Maya Rodriguez stared at her laptop screen, watching the last of her savings drain from her business account. 3 years. 3 years of sleepless nights, maxed out credit cards, and unwavering belief in her vision. And now, at 2:47 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, it was officially over. Meditation app startup, Serenity Now, had just lost its final investor. The irony wasn't lost on her. She'd spent months building an app to help people find inner peace while spiraling into her own personal chaos. "You still here?" The security guard, Marcus, poked his head through the door. He'd watched countless dreamers come and go from this building. Maya could see the sympathy in his eyes, and it made everything worse. "Just finishing up some things," she managed, forcing a smile that felt like cracking glass. Marcus nodded slowly. "My daughter, she had a business too. Bakery. Lasted 8 months. He paused. "She's a pastry chef at a 5-star hotel now. Says those 8 months taught her more than culinary school ever did." Maya nodded politely, but inside she was screaming. She didn't want wisdom. She didn't want perspective. She wanted her company back. She wanted the last 3 years to mean something other than a cautionary tale. The next morning, Maya's phone exploded with notifications. News traveled fast in the startup world. Former colleagues offered sympathetic messages peppered with advice she hadn't asked for. Everything happens for a reason. When one door closes, this is just a pivot. The worst message came from Derek Chen, her former college roommate who'd sold his company for 8 figures 2 years ago. "Heard about Serenity. Tough break. Let me know if you need a job. We're always hearing." Threw her phone across the room. Mother called 3 times before Maya finally answered. "Mija, come home. Rest. Your old room is exactly how you left it." "I'm 32, Mom. I'm not moving back into my childhood bedroom." "Then what are you going to do?" It was the question Maya had been avoiding. What do you do when your dream doesn't just die? It implodes spectacularly in front of everyone you know. Maya spent the next week in a haze. She avoided LinkedIn like the plague, ignored emails, and lived on instant ramen and the remnants of her pride. But on day 8, something shifted. Was at a coffee shop, eavesdropping on 2 20-somethings pitching their revolutionary idea, which was essentially her app from 3 years ago with a different color scheme. They were so confident, so certain of their inevitable success. She remembered being them. "Excuse me," Maya interrupted, surprising herself. "Sorry, I couldn't help but overhear. I actually built something similar." Their faces lit up. "Really? That's amazing. How's it going?" "It failed, spectacularly." The silence was deafening. One of them, a girl with purple hair named Zoe, leaned forward. "What happened?" And for the first time since the collapse, Maya told the truth. Not the sanitized version she'd rehearsed for LinkedIn. The real, brutal truth. "I fell in love with my solution instead of staying in love with the problem. I spent 2 years building features users said they wanted instead of watching what they actually did. I hired my friends instead of the right people because I was scared of conflict. I said yes to every investor suggestion even when my gut screamed no. And when things started falling apart, I worked harder instead of working smarter, like somehow my exhaustion would magically fix systemic problems." Zoe was taking notes. Her partner, James, looked uncomfortable. "But here's the thing," Maya continued. "I'm not telling you this to discourage you. I'm telling you because I wish someone had told me. Failure isn't this Instagram-worthy moment of enlightenment. It's messy and humiliating, and it makes you question everything about yourself. But..." She paused, realizing something as she spoke it aloud. "But it's also the only way you actually learn what you're made of." That conversation haunted Maya for days. She'd been so focused on her failure that she hadn't stopped to examine what it was trying to teach her. Pulled out her old notebooks, 3 years of observations, user interviews, failed hypotheses, and midnight epiphanies. For the first time, she read them not as a record of her dreams, but as a map of her education. Page after page revealed patterns she'd been too close to see. Users didn't struggle with meditation because they needed a better app. They struggled because they needed better habits around stress management, and meditation was just one tool in a larger toolkit they didn't have. Her app had failed because she'd been solving the wrong problem. Maya started reaching out to her old users, not to apologize, but to understand. She interviewed 50 people over 2 weeks. Why did you stop using Serenity now? The answers were illuminating. They hadn't failed her. She'd failed to understand what they actually needed. They wanted integration with their existing routines, not another separate app to remember. They wanted accountability, not just content. They wanted community, not isolation. Maya's therapist, Dr. Patel, listened to her renewed enthusiasm with cautious optimism. Maya, I'm glad you're finding meaning in this experience, but I have to ask, are you processing the grief or are you running from it? Can it be both? Dr. Patel smiled. It can, but grief unprocessed has a way of sabotaging new beginnings. You lost something important. Your identity was wrapped up in being a founder. That person died when your company died. Who are you now? Question hit harder than Maya expected. She'd spent so much energy on what she was building that she'd forgotten to build herself. I don't know, she admitted. The old Maya would have had a 5-year plan by now, but that Maya also ignored every warning sign until it was too late. Who's the new Maya? Maya thought about it. Someone who's been broken and is figuring out how the pieces fit together differently. Someone who's learning that confidence without competence is just arrogance, and competence without confidence is just fear. Weeks later, Maya received an email from Sarah Kim, a former competitor whose meditation app was thriving. They'd been friendly rivals, respecting each other from a distance. I heard about Serenity. I'm sorry. Want to grab coffee? Maya almost declined. The last thing she needed was pity from someone who'd succeeded where she'd failed, but something made her say yes. Sarah showed up looking tired, not triumphant. Our app is growing, she said, stirring her latte, but we're making mistakes that could sink us. I've been reading your old blog posts, and you wrote about issues we're facing now. I wanted to ask, would you consult for us? Maya laughed, bitter and sharp. You want advice from someone who failed. I want advice from someone who's seen the other side of success. Everyone in my orbit tells me what I want to hear. I need someone who will tell me the truth, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. It was the last thing Maya expected, but it was also the first time since her failure that someone had valued her experience rather than pitied it. I'll think about it, Maya said. That night, Maya made a list. Not a business plan or a to-do list, but a reckoning. What failure actually taught me? 1. Success is a terrible teacher. It makes you think you're invincible and that your methods are flawless. Failure strips away the ego and shows you the truth. 2. The market doesn't care about your effort. I worked 80-hour weeks. I sacrificed relationships. I believed passion plus persistence equaled success. But the market only cares about value delivered, not value intended. 3. Speed matters, but direction matters more. I moved fast. I broke things. But I was running in the wrong direction, and all my speed did was get me to the wrong destination faster. 4. Your weaknesses don't disappear when you're busy. I was terrible at financial management. Instead of hearing someone strong in that area, I just worked around it until I couldn't anymore. 5. Failure is data, not destiny. Every failed experiment taught me something, but I was so afraid of failing that I didn't run enough experiments to learn fast enough. As she wrote, something crystallized. Failure wasn't her enemy, it was her education. And maybe, just maybe, it was the most valuable thing she'd ever earned. The next morning, Maya called Sarah. I'll do it, but not as a consultant, as a partner. I don't want to just give advice. I want to build something that implements everything I learned from failing. Sarah was quiet for a moment. That's a much bigger ask. I know, and you'd be taking a huge risk on someone who just crashed and burned. Why should I? Maya took a deep breath. Because I've paid the tuition that most founders only talk about. I've made the mistakes you're about to make, and I've got the scars to prove it. I'm not the person I was 3 years ago when I started Serenity. I'm someone better, someone who knows what they don't know. Another pause. Let me talk to my team, but Maya, I like the way you think about this. As Maya hung up, she realized something profound. She hadn't failed forward. She'd failed backward, sideways, and down. She'd failed in every possible direction. And somehow, in the wreckage of all that failure, she'd found the foundation for something true. This wasn't a redemption arc. This was something messier and more honest, a reconstruction. And unlike her first company, built on optimism and naivety, whatever came next would be built on something more durable. Hard-earned wisdom and the brutal truth that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the tuition you pay for it. The call with Sarah ended with a promise. Maya would join as a partner, bringing everything she'd learned from Serenity's collapse. But promises are easy. Delivery is brutal. Because here's what Maya knew that Sarah didn't yet. Mindful Tech wasn't just facing the same challenges Serenity had. They were making the exact same mistakes, following the exact same trajectory, celebrating the exact same metrics that had led Maya off a cliff. She'd seen this movie before. She knew how it ended. The question was, could she rewrite the ending for someone else? Or would her failure prove to be nothing more than a cautionary tale she was doomed to watch play out again? 6 months would tell the story, and in 6 months, Maya would discover whether failure had made her wise or just afraid. Join us in the next chapter to find out. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it inspiring, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Your support helps this channel grow and brings you more motivating stories and powerful content. Stay inspired, stay focused, and I'll see you in the next one.